Because, you know, we talk to people on Facebook and we don't really know anything about them. And it's nice to get to know people. I know you know Roger, and he's a great guy. He's been up here several times. And how did you get to meet Roger? Just on Facebook?
Well, a friend of mine got me into metal detecting. He come up to my place, and I told him, I said, you got to bring your metal detector. I did it years ago with old whites, but I just find, clad, not with it. So I kind of lost interest in it. Well, he bought a metal detector, and I told him, I said, well, bring it up to my place and see if we can find anything up here in the woods. He walks up on this old trail. I told him, I said, from what I heard, it used to be an old moonshine. They used to have bootleggers that run moonshine through the woods up here. And there was a couple old trees, and the story was that the people that were buying the moonshine would bury the money by certain trees in the woods.
Oh my! And
the bootleggers would run through and leave the liquor, and the bootleggers would take the money, and the people would take the liquor during Prohibition. So I told him, I said, there's one trail up in my woods up here I want you to check. So I didn't even have a metal detector at the time. And he goes in my woods, and we start walking down this trail, and there's this old forked tree. I don't know what type of tree it is, gum tree or something, but it stands out from anything else in the woods. I said, scan around this tree. So he starts scanning the ground and just stops dead in his tracks and digs a little plug there. 1883 Morgan dollar pops up.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So,
you never saw anything like that then, right?
No, nothing that big and shiny come out of the ground. Yeah, I've seen it.
That machine was magic. Yeah.
Yeah, that did it in for me. I said, well, it's time for you to leave my woods, and I go get my own metal detector. But yeah, he searched around a little more. We found a few Indian pennies, and about a month later, I guess, I went and got me one. He talked me into buying one. I went up there, and I walked down the same trail, probably 300 yards, and I kind of eyeballed it. There was another one. It was in 1921, just kind of sticking out of the ground a little bit. And I just reached down, picked it up. I said,
that'll give you the fever, won't it? Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's what got me going.
Where was this, in Cincinnati area?
What's that?
You're in the Cincinnati area, is that right?
Yeah, I can almost see the Cincinnati skyline from my house. Yeah.
Are you in Kentucky or Ohio?
Kentucky.
You're in Kentucky. Yeah. It's your Covington address?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
right
okay.
Across the river, but it's kind of out of Covington. It's
right.
Toward, yeah, it's more south of Covington. But yeah, lately I've been doing this. I got a fascination with this horse race track that was down here. It started in 1880 and they tore it down in 1940. And a lot of it's been developed on, but there's an old bar there that I've been hunting. And yeah, they tore the bar down, and it's been just, I found a 2-cent piece there.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful barber dime, buffalo nickels. We got that Canadian dime I showed you, I think, last week, and then just the other day I pulled that Standing Liberty out of there. So
that's great.
Yeah, it's a small spot, but it's really paying off too. But,
yeah, those are kind of hot spots you just got to find, you know. At least around here, it's terrible around here. I can go to any farm in 5-6 miles, and all of them have been detected. It's just if you find anything, it's just because they missed it.
My thing is that I've been to, me and Roger both been to several places, and they've told us, well, you can look, but you probably won't find much because it's been detected before. Well, to me, that just gets me wanting to find it that much more.
Right.
Because
they miss stuff. One secret I do, I've mentioned in some of my videos, if I'm near a road or a lane, some guys just won't go near the road because of the trash. But you set that machine up. I hit a silver Spanish up here along the road, and a Marine's Civil War button, coat button. You know, somebody just didn't want to go near the road and mess with the trash. So there it was.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't do too many road verges, but I'm the same way. When I get up close to the road, I kind of steer back into the yard because,
yeah,
you know, the pop cans, pull tabs, the miscellaneous trash that people throw out of the cars. It's just, yeah, it's tough sledding in those areas, but.
Yeah. That's great. So we pretty much kind of covered when you got your first metal detector. That was when it was a friend you said brought it down. When he brought his down, and then you went to the woods.
Yeah, and he talked me into buying one because we planned on doing some flight detecting together. We went quite a bit, so we found some good things. So
how long has that been?
Yeah, I think this is my 6th year.
Yeah, about the same as me then. Yeah.
First few years, I was, I'd go when I could go. Then I started finding things, and I was like going all the time. Now it's like every chance I get, I'm going because I'm always seeing something I can get to next. So
yeah, great. Are you able to approach people comfortably, or is it kind of hard for you?
I'm pretty easy going. I mean, I don't mind knocking on a stranger's door.
Yeah, that's great.
The best they can tell me is no.
Yeah. I had so many people be hostile, and I just can't hardly do it anymore. Yeah, I don't know why that is.
It's been rough this year. Well, this last year and a half probably because of the COVID. You don't know whose door you want to knock on, who's scared, who's not. Who's been vaccinated, who's not, whatever the case is. But we seem to do pretty good. I mean, for every 2 no's we get a yes. So.
Well, that's great. Now I know Roger was posting some stuff up. Were those finds when he was out with you, or is that something on his own? I think it's probably been a couple weeks, maybe.
Well, the way his schedule, my schedule, he'll work like a week straight, and then I'll work 2 days on, 3 days off, 2 days on. So we try to meet up at least once or twice a week when we can.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, I don't know. I think his last time out, he may have went solo. So did I. I've been out solo a couple times just because we've been so busy. But yeah, we've been going this lot over in Cincinnati. We've been doing pretty good over there. It's old house site. They tore down the house.
Right. You guys have got the populace, and plus you've got the history. I mean, Cincinnati is a very old town, being on the river.
Yeah, it's a lot older. Well, I'm guessing it's got about 40 years on where I hunt at because a lot of the places I hunt are right around 1900, 1890s at the earliest. You get over there, you're getting 1860s, 1850s.
Right.
So it's got a little more age to it than my town does. So.
Well, I would obviously we could say Cincinnati is probably older than the state. The state was 03, and Cincinnati was probably there in the 1700s. I would imagine easily,
right.
Being on the river.
The 1780s, something like
right.
that, 1790s, yeah.
Well, hey, one of these days you're going to turn up one of those old coins. US 1790?
No, my oldest was, what was it, that 1841 seated dime I found. And that thing was just knock your eyes. I didn't blind me when I popped it.
Yeah.
I found it over here in Kentucky, actually.
Yeah. What's your most exciting permission that you've been on as far as a residential? Have you gotten permission on some of these great big places that have been there for, ever?
Well, my favorite one to have to be, there was one over here in Kentucky. I'm not going to elaborate on any names.
You're not going to put a Google map up, huh?
No, these people are going to get hammered. So
yeah.
We went there, a couple of friends that went there, and they said, "Oh, there's nothing there." And I said, "Well, it's old. It's the guy that founded the town. It was his original homestead, and it's going back 1880s, 18. It's a little older out that area, but me and Roger went there, and I got one of the finds right here. I'll show you what.
Yeah, I want to see some of those.
I don't know how well you can see that, but
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
seated $50. I mean, it came out of there. That's where that 1841 seated dime that I showed you, it came out of there. I mean, large cents. I mean, it was the old of the old. It was just, it was a dream hunt. I mean,
yeah.
Everything was in the front yard, though. There was nothing in the back. There was nothing. It was all located right in the front yard. Old tokens, barber dimes, buffalo nickels, Indians, old wheat cents. The place was unreal.
Great. You've been doing some live videos, I know. I'm sure you'll do more as time goes by, and because that captures the moment. I mean, it's never.
A lot of places we go to is just a onesie-twosie thing, you know. I mean,
right.
You'll have 3 or 4 hours and you'll find one silver coin, or you may not find
right.
it at all. But when you get in those good spots, I mean, this is, I'm going to show you now, this is the oldest coin that I found. And I found it in a residential yard. I didn't even know what it was. I mean, it's a foreign coin, but it says Stod, you're right, something, 1765. And it's hard to focus.
Let's go over to your left ear a little more on that. A little more. So you do know what it is now, though, right? Is it Russian?
It's a coin from the Netherlands.
Netherlands.
But yeah, it's it's super old. I mean, that's my oldest coin that I've ever found. And I found a KG3, I think they call them, the big cartwheel pennies.
Right.
It was 1797.
Yeah.
But the 1700s coins around here are slim and it's even the 1800s coins are hard to find. But occasionally, you'll get an older Indian, or I have found a couple key date barber dimes. We find a lot of dimes. It's just like dimes are just,
Do you have Axine? Are you running?
Sweet.
What?
Equinox.
You run the Equinox. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I started with an AT Pro, but I graduated.
Yeah. I love my Apex. It's so light, and it doesn't miss stuff. I can't believe some of the tiny stuff I've dug up. That multi-frequency.
Well, with that Equinox, though, that standard coil, I bought the small coil, 6-inch.
Right.
I got it. And people say, oh, you lose depth with the 6-inch, and that 6-inch will get a penny at 12 inches deep.
Yeah.
I mean, I've proved it. Yeah. It don't miss. And in a trashy area, there ain't nothing better. I mean,
right.
It picks that stuff apart.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about the Apex. It has the narrow coil, but it's wide this way, and you can cover a lot of ground with it.
Right. See, that's the problem with that small coil with mine. If it's a big yard, and I take that little coil, Roger usually smokes me because he's covered a lot more ground.
Right. Greatest find, in your opinion, that you've recovered? I know you.
One of my true favorites is, and I've just posted this recently, that ring that I found. And when I dug this up, Roger was with me, and it was laying flat on the ground, just like this.
Yeah.
It was just, I could just see the edge of it sticking out, and I just reached down and raised real high, picked it up, and I took it over to him. I said, look at this ring I just found. He said, that's not a ring, that's a pipe fitting. I said, no. And I started wiping on it. I said, there's letters on the inside of this thing. I've never seen a pipe fit with letters in it. But,
not on the inside.
Yeah. World War I trench art where we were at, you never know what's going to come out. That's the thing. You might think you know the area, and then something just off the wall, you know, something like that comes out of the ground. You're like, then you put it together, they're like, well, we did find military buttons here and those kind of things, but that's something you never expect to find. And that's my favorite finds, the stuff that you don't expect to be there.
Right, it just dumbfounds you that something like that.
Yeah, you just sit back like, how?
What was that doing there? You know.
Right. One thing that did have one find on there that kind of shocked me is there was some Civil War activity here, but there wasn't really an actual shot fired.
Right.
We had the defense of Cincinnati where we kind of held off the South and those kind of things. But I know right where the trail is, everything, but it's pretty much a keep out area, so
right.
we don't go there, you know.
It'd be great.
But I'm in the middle of town, and you know, get an 18 on the Equinox, which 18 on the Equinox, solid 18 is always lead. It's always lead. I've never, you know, a pull tab, an old beaver tail will jump around 17 to 16 to 18, but lead is 18.
It's solid.
Time. So I pop the plug out, and the 3-ringer pops out.
Yeah.
In the middle of town, right in the middle of,
yeah.
Why?
Just dumbfounded. Right?
And then I go to the other side of town about a week later and pop out another one. And then on 3 separate sides of town, found 3 3-ringers. That's the only, and I don't know why or how. 2 of them were fired, 1 of them was dropped. You know, some tone, there was really high tones like that, or they're half-dollar signals, and the dollar signals, you almost love to hear them, but you hate to dig them. Because 9 out of 10 of them's going to be something off the wall.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But you'll get that one that'll, you know, it'll put you in your place.
Yeah. Do you get hook up with people as far as you know, people you know, and you get to go on their property? I mean, from work or church or people that you've known for the years from school?
Yeah, I think I've asked everybody I know.
Right. How old's your house? Yeah, that's what I do. How old is your property?
Well, right. Yeah, there ain't too many. Actually, my friends list, I think I went through everybody in my friends list even.
Yeah.
And I've got a few permissions, but yes, these off-the-wall places that you wouldn't think there's nothing there, and it's there.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you something. Go ahead.
The obvious ones is, you know, you drive through town and you see this big historic homes and it's right on the main street. I've never done anything at those places because they've all been gone through.
All right.
Now I had one little part of town over there that was a dead-end street behind the railroad tracks. It's probably 2 city blocks, and I think I counted 9 houses on one side of the street, consecutive houses, that I found at least 1 or 2 silvers in every single car.
Yeah.
So the people that are hitting the main drags and seeing the big historic colonial homes, there may be things there.
Right.
But if you get off the beaten path and find these places that are hidden and people can't see and they don't drive by them every day, you're going to score.
Yeah. Well, we live in such a small community. It does get difficult at so many places. There was one important thing I was going to ask you. Now, it slipped my mind. Were there other things there you wanted to show, Bill?
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard for me. I'll just do this out here. This is just a jar of wheat pennies from last year.
Oh, for heaven's sake. That's a lot of holes.
How many wheat pennies? There's probably 2,000 of them in this jar.
Oh, my.
There is a ton of wheat pennies. Just some rings and bracelets. Well, I don't know bracelets, but this was interesting too. Actually dug this ring here up, still had the chain, and the chain wasn't broken, just like somebody had.
That's all silver?
All silver.
Yeah.
The ring and the chain.
Yeah.
And then there's some Indian.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
And then
oh my.
There's some more.
Yeah. You need to post more of that stuff. I don't think I've ever seen that.
There's a purple amethyst sterling ring I found a couple years ago. This was my first big silver ring is a blue, some kind of fire stone or something. I can't remember what.
They call it a Lindy star, I think. Yeah, it has a little star when you look straight on. Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
This is another ring that come out at the same site that I found that soldiers trench arm ring at.
Right.
Right here.
That's great.
I think it's black onyx at one time,
right.
But it was in a bottle dump, so yeah, just.
You got a lot of rings, huh?
Yeah, we finally got, well, I haven't been too hot on them here this year, but last year I seemed to find rings and rings. And this was cool here. This is an old pocket watch file.
All right.
Never did find the watch. I found part of the watch, but the inside of it.
Yeah.
In that same yard, I found 13 silver coins in the same yard. So, and then the smaller stuff. This is going to be hard to really see too. There's a purple amethyst earring.
Right.
I don't know what kind of stone that is at the bottom, but yeah, then more rings.
Oh my.
The coins. Yeah, let's see. I'll try to turn this around, just show you a few.
Yeah, I'm curious how many silvers you have.
Let me see if I can do this. Oh, that's not gonna work. Let's see. That's last year.
Oh my.
That's the view, and then so far this year, that's this year's pile so far.
Cool.
And yeah, it's out there, but you know, like I said, it's move my hand again here. There we go. Mm-hmm. It's out there. It's just, you know, we go a lot. You know, a lot of guys I go with, they may go 2 or 3 times a year, where I go 2 or 3 times a week. So
right.
To do. There's a lot of guys that, you know, me, I'm just hooked. I mean, I get out and I go.
Yeah.
You know.
So you're getting probably 8 hours a week if you're going 2 or 3 times. 4-hour hunts, 3-hour hunts.
I'd say I detect probably, when I'm not working, I'd say I put in 30 hours a week.
Oh.
Yeah.
If I was your age again, I could, but yeah.
When I'm not working, I put in 30 hours a week. When I'm working, the weekend, maybe I might put in 10, 12 hours a week.
Yeah. Hey, I'm still 2 hours, 3 hours a week, 7 days a week, so that's 20 hours a week, 21 hours.
Yeah.
Not so much now. Yeah.
That's how you get it, though. If you ain't out there looking for it, you ain't going to find it sitting on the couch. You know, that's what I tell those guys.
Yeah, I dug a silver bracelet 3 or 4 years ago, and it was pretty much on the surface, just kind of under the grass, and I'm just swinging. And so I lift my coil, and I can still hear it. And I say, it's got to be a pop can. You know, no, it wasn't. I was glad. I just got out scratched, and it was a bracelet. Had part.
And that's another thing too, is I like those signals that you don't hear very often. You know. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows what a quarter sounds like. Everybody knows what a penny sounds like. But when you hear one of them, it's like, what in the world is that?
Yeah.
You know.
And it's solid tone too, right?
Right.
Repeatable.
And I tell those guys, man, dig those, because 9 out of 10 of them's going to be something unique or something good. There's a couple old swimming holes over here that I know of, but one of them that, well, they actually built a pool behind it. It's in the creek up here, but the whole creek is just one big sheet of bedrock. So
right,
everything that's there's washed away. You know, there's no digging. It's just one big sheet of rock.
No cracks in it, huh?
Nothing.
Yeah, we used one. Hey, I really appreciate getting to know you and the advice and the things that you shared.
Right.
Great stuff, man. I just.
Yeah, we're not too far away from you. Maybe we can meet up sometime.
Yeah, it's so, like I say, it's hard to come up here. I've had Roger up here, but I guess probably 3 times. But you know,
right.
Of course, the crop's on now. It's makes it bad for us. But I keep looking. Go ahead.
That's one thing we don't get a lot of down here is fields. There's plenty of fields around us, but you know,
Yeah.
Getting a farm permission is.
Yeah. Do you ever use the old township maps to look for long gone farms? Have you ever done that?
No, Roger. He gets into the old historical aerials. I mean,
Right.
He uses
Right.
them quite a bit.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
And I've got some older plat maps of the area like I'm in, just because I know it a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And I went looking for some of these places, and it's like, this ain't here. There's no way there was nothing ever here. You know?
Yeah. Movie down here, I was lucky to get on that and hadn't been hit. Because I knew it, I took 90 silvers out of there. You know, the old drive-in movie, so.
Well, that's like the old high school I used to go to.
Right.
We thought that was off limits. It was built in the 1860s. Civil War activity there. Old. Big place. Lots of grass. Lots of field. And got permission to do that place. And me and a friend of mine went, and Roger went with us. And I found 28 cents and full tabs. Roger goes in the front and pulls a Spanish real out of the place.
Rascal.
Yeah.
I think I remember that. He just got the one Spanish?
He's got
two. You don't have any yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any yet. No.
Yeah.
No Spanish coins yet.
Yeah.
But I'll get one.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll post it when you do. Post some of your stuff when you get a chance.
I will.
That collection, that's especially those rings, that's really cool. Some guys don't like to show all their stuff. Afraid they get robbed, maybe, I don't know.
If this is, 10 rings and 50 silver coins is,
Yeah.
it's not.
Hey, just any last words you want to share with the viewers about metal detecting? One big piece of advice.
It really doesn't matter what type of machine you use. It's just practice with it, learn it,
Right.
use it. Everybody digs trash. There's no one out there that goes out and just finds gold and silver every time they go. You learn your machine, you know what to dig, what not to dig. And look for any dirt that's disturbed. Any dirt that's disturbed anywhere. Because chances are, if it's in any type of area where there's any kind of activity at all, you're going to find something that somebody's missed. It has been gone over because it was too deep for anybody to hear it, or it's turned a certain way. I've even been to yards where we've hunted a yard 15, 20 times and thought we've got everything. And then a good rain comes and go, and then you're popping silver coins out of the yard.
Yeah.
It's crazy how it works, but my biggest thing is just don't give up if you're detecting, because your first 6 to 8 months, even you got a brand new machine, top line machine, until you learn that machine, it's not going to make you any difference.
Right. I agree 100%.
You're going to dig trash, and until you learn it, until you get into it. I mean, with the Equinox, though, I can attest to this. That machine tells you what you got before you pull it out of the ground. It won't pull a year off a coin or nothing.
Right.
But it'll tell you if it's a silver dime, a quarter, a clad quarter, a silver quarter, how deep it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that multi-frequency is just, it's off the hook. The only thing I can tell you is just stay at it. Don't give up. I mean, it's out there. Don't give up. And don't let a no tell you, discourage you from the hobby. Because the next door might tell you yes and be the best yard you ever been in.
Yeah.
And then do your research and figure out where things were. Like I said, always look for disturbed sites. Always look for the old stuff. You find old pottery in the ground, chances are you're going to find old coins right along with it.
Right.
So, coins, rings, who knows?
Yeah.
It's out there.
Hey, Bill, thanks a lot. Really appreciate your sharing. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you on Facebook. Okay?
All right. You too, buddy.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. How long ago?